Hi, Judy. You are the first one here today. Welcome. Just going to wait a couple of more minutes until 10 and see who else joins us in these waning days of August. Let's make sure. Mayhem at the Y with the campers in the building today. So someone else has joined. Let's see. I'm going to leave it here for the time. Hi, Eva. I wish I could see your faces. And we'll just wait another minute or two, and then we'll get started. Your face is tired. No, it isn't. My face is tired. You know, these last days of August, I think everyone wants to just go away. Hi, Julian. All right, just another minute and then we'll get started. And the other folks, hopefully they join us, will come in as uh, okay, we are at 10 o'clock. Nora's on vacation. All right, so we are going to get started, and the other folks either will join us or not, but we're going to have fun anyway. On such a dreary morning, let's get started. Let me just get my watch set up so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, so just want to make sure you can see all of me. Hopefully by next week or the week after, I'll have my original setup going so that I can see myself better. So we're just going to get started. We're going to stand up nice and tall, lean your head forward, and just tilt your chin up. I don't know if you could see it better if I do it sideways, and tilt it up to the other side, and do that a few more times. We're not holding it for a long time. Just getting some movement in our neck, nice and gentle. So now look left to right. Your shoulders shouldn't be moving. If I get distracted, the campers are in the building today. They're all over the place. Surprised they're not in this room right now. The noise that I can hear, I don't know if you can hear it, but they're having fun. And then shoulder rolls, nice deep shoulder rolls. Bringing your shoulders up towards your ears and rolling back. And then arm circles, modify at shoulder height if you need to, but if you could go all the way up, that should feel really good. And switch direction. And swing your arm around your body, get some movement in your torso. And then we're going to do hip circles, 5 in each direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And the other direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And heel taps to the front, pressing your arms out. And we're going to switch these to kickbacks, bringing your heels towards your glutes, row in your arms. You should feel a little bit of a stretch in your quads as you do this, but we're warming up our glutes and our hamstrings. And then we're going to make these into skaters, one leg behind the other on a diagonal. And then I just want you to step forward on a diagonal. We're trying to step in every direction. I don't know why this angle, I have to pay more attention so that I don't go off screen. It's the same size camera. And then we're going to do step out. Start with your feet together and step to the side and move your arms out also. And just march it out. I'm just going to bring my chair up here. And make these marches a little bit higher, opposite hand to knee. And before we do our calf raises, let's just do a little bit of hip mobility. We're just going to circle our hips in one direction for a little bit, and then switch to the other direction. And switch legs. Circle in one direction, and switch direction. And calf raises, holding on to the chair if you need to. Just rolling up on your toes for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And before we do our posture check, let's do our cervical spine. So shoulders pointed forward. All you're doing is giving yourself a double chin. We're going to do 10 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So let's do our posture check. So standing up nice and tall, plumb line pulling you up, one hand behind your head, the other on your chin. Keep your chin parallel. Push your hand back push your chin back, I should say, into the hand behind your head. So now your head is nicely on top of your shoulder, ear over your shoulder, shoulder over your hip, hip over your knee, knee over your ankle. Your belly button pulled towards your spine, slight hip tilt forward, relax shoulders, shoulder blades pointing towards your back pocket. So remember, we are cognizant of our posture, stand in and sit in. And if you're leaning on the back of the chair, you're not slumping in the chair, you're still sitting upright. So sit up nice and tall, feet up, point and flex for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And circle out for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And the opposite direction, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And we're still working on power moves. And our power move is getting up fast from our sit to stand and sitting down slowly with a lot of control. So we're going to do just regular sit to stand and whatever is good for you. Whatever is normal for you. Remember, you could push off the chair, use your arms up and down, cross your arms across the chest, or arms straight out. Someone just ran into the wall. It just shook the room. So we're just going to do 5 of those. Your feet should be fairly wide. Find a focal point. Keep your eyes on it so you're not bending forward as you get up. And we're going to do 5 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I'm going to do this one sideways so that you can see a little bit, but I realize I'm wearing all black. The chair is black. I'm going to have to do something about that next week. So what I'm going to do is get up really fast and sit slow. So do as many as you can. We're going to do 10 of them. And then after that, we're going to do 5, a get up and go, where you get up and move. And I'll talk about that when we get to it. So up really fast and sit really slow. 2, this is a power move. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So what I'm going to do, depending on how much room you have in the space that you're using, I'm just going to turn this to the side a little bit. I may disappear a little bit, or my legs may disappear. I'm just going to put my weight out in front of me. I normally would do it a little bit longer. I don't know if I'm going to use the blue weight so you can see that better. And what I'm going to do, just 5 reps. I'm going to get up, walk around the weight, and I'm doing it 5 times. So I'm not just going to go and turn to my right. I'm also going to do a turn into my left. So it's getting up very fast and walking around. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and the last one, 5. And so we're doing this, you know, a lot of people sometimes, especially off of a sofa that's, you know, there's a lot of doing this to get up, and when they get up, there's a lot of stumble. So being able to get up fast and move is a good sign. So we're going to do a lot more practice, and we're going to do a couple other things. You know, that initial stumble when someone's moving or when they're walking and having to stop. We're going to do that with our tandem walks today. So now we're going to do, if you have a TheraBand, we're going to do chest press. I'm going to just put it over your arms this time, not just under your arms. So make sure you have it nice and taut. We're going to do 15 reps. You could do this seated, but if you're doing it standing, I want your knees bent a little bit and your belly button pulled in. Everything else is really nice and tall. You're just going to push forward and bring your elbows back. So 15 reps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. And We're gonna do wall sits. After Labor Day, we're gonna go back to squats, but you know, we're in this mode right now, so we're gonna continue it. We're gonna do 30 seconds. You don't have to do the full 30 seconds. I'm gonna just change this around. Just move this way slightly. So make sure your feet are out in front of your knees. They shouldn't be back here. You can go as low as it's comfortable for you. If you feel any pressure in your knee, rise up a little bit or put your feet out. Your belly button's in, you're leaning against the wall, your head is against the wall, you're keeping everything tight and you're counting with me. We're gonna start now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. And let's stand up. And I'm having you count with me because wall sit is isometric. The tendency is to hold your breath. I don't want you to hold your breath. Sometimes you're holding your breath and you don't even realize it. So when you're counting out with me, you're not holding your breath. Our last set of chest press. So standing up nice and tall. 1, 2, 3. Your hands are at chest height. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. And we're going to go right into our last set of wall sits. So actually keep your glutes engaged, and actually if you could tuck your hips up a little bit and contract your glutes, that will help a great deal too. So get ready. We're going to start now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and 26. And just shake your legs out. And we're going to move on. We're going to do one more round of exercises, and then I will check in with you guys. So we have been doing our bent over rows. If you don't have a band, you could use your weights, or you could just use your body weight if you don't have anything. So what I'm doing with the band, I'm going to step both feet on. You could do one foot, but I'm going to do 2. Make sure your band is even, that you're holding it with good enough tension. You're bent at the knee, you're bent at the hip, your spine is neutral. That means you're not rounding it or arching it. You're just keeping it nice and neutral. Your belly button's pulled in, your head is in line with your spine. Means you're looking a little bit on a diagonal in front. You're not bending in either direction. And we're going to pull up. 1, 2, squeeze your shoulder blades together. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 6. I meant to just go to 15. So what we're doing with these are, we're going to do pendulum. So your leg is nice and straight. You could keep the standing leg, keep that knee slightly bent, a little bit soft. Your foot is flexed. You're not swinging your upper body, and you're not swinging your leg either. You're going to bring it up and lead back with that heel and contract your glutes. All right, so 1, Working your two glutes and hamstrings and quads at the same time. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then switch over and do the other side. So stand up nice and tall. That's supported leg is slightly bent. Flex your leg. 1, contract your glutes when you bring your leg back. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And our last set of bent over rows. So bent at the knee, bent at the hip, neutral spine, head in line with your spine, your belly button's pulled towards your spine. I just said spine a lot. Bring your elbows up. 1, 2, 3. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Sorry, someone tried to phone me in the middle of that, and I can't accept it, of course. So I think let's do 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And our last set of pendulums. So stand up nice and tall, foot, the supporting leg slightly bent. Flex your foot. 1, bring it straight back, contract your glutes. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And switch to the other side. Knees slightly bent. Flex your foot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And you know what? It's really hot in this room today. I think they turned the AC down because they had the campers in here yesterday, and they haven't turned it back up. So I'm going to check in and see how you guys are doing. How's everyone doing? Let's see who else joined us. Small class today. Someone with an iPhone. I'm not sure who that is, but welcome anyway. So let me just get a sip of water. And we're going to move on. So last week we did bicep curls. I'm going to do it up close. So bicep curls, you turn your hands forward, and overhead press. So we're working our biceps and our shoulder. Hi, Joe and Judy. Bicep curl, overhead press. So we're working our shoulder and our biceps at the same time. And normally in the past, we have done biceps alternating, but we're not going to do that today. We're going to try and do two different things, and it's harder. It's much harder. It's easier to alternate than to do two different things. So it's a little bit of more cognitive work, and we're doing 10 reps. So do your best. And if overhead presses are bothersome for your shoulders, skip those completely. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. See, I messed up a little bit. 9 and 10. I have to really, really think about what I'm doing. And as you can see, I messed it up a little bit. So we're going to do calf raises and heel rocks, holding on lightly to the chair. We're going to go roll up on our toes as high as you can and rock back on our heels. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And that last set of biceps, overhead press and march in. Let's see if I can do it without like messing up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I find it requires a lot of concentration on my part, but I think it's a great, well, we're working our body and it's a great cognitive exercise. You really have to think about what you're doing. So last set of calf raises and heel rocks. 1, working our anterior tibialis, our calves, our ankles, our feet. This is 3, 4, 5. 1 second. Sorry. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right. So we're going to do triceps. But we're going to do our medial glute, our smaller glute muscles. I think I did it here last week. I know I did it in my in-person class, which we don't have this week. And in that class, we're doing it in the gym, so it's a big space, and we can move around. Here, I'm on camera, and I can't really move around, so I've had to adjust. So I'm going to just double this today. So you want your feet to be a little bit wider than hip width, and that the band around, it's above your knee, is tight. You know, you can do this exercise without a band if you're really nice and careful. In the gym, we can actually do 10 steps all the way across, but I'm going to disappear if we do that. So what we're going to do, I'm going to start with my feet together and step out and out. So I'm bent at the knee a little bit. I'm bent slightly at the hip. I'm still keeping everything nice and tight. I'm just leaning forward slightly. And we're going to do 20 altogether. So if you have the space, you could do a 10 walk all the way over, making sure, looking down at your feet, that you're not stepping one foot that way and then back, that you're even. You're going all the way across evenly. Or you can do what I'm doing today. So you're going to step to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we're going to do 10 more. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And dependent on how much tension is in your band, you're going to really feel it at the side. This is tight, as not as tight as I've done before, but I can really feel my hips working. And we're going to do bent over. We're going to be in a bent over row position, and we're going to do triceps. So bent at the knee, bent at the hip, head in line with your spine, and extend all the way back for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And I'm just going to make this a little tighter for myself. Make my hips work a little bit harder. Okay, so I'm bent at the knee, bent slightly forward, keeping my belly button pulled in, keeping my head up. I'm going to start together. 1, 2, 3. Keep your toes in the same place. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. And I have to tell you, just tightening it up a little bit, I really feel that even more. So, last set of triceps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And let me take this off. It will be a nice relief not to have this around my legs. So we're done with that. So I told you we're going to work on a little bit, just moving this out of the way. Line this up. I have to see how much room I have to do tandem stands. Okay, hopefully you can see me. We're just gonna do, I'm gonna go as far as I can before I disappear off camera. Just a regular tandem stance. Do whatever you need to do with your arms. You could hold on to the wall slightly if you need to. Look where you're going, not down at your feet. So heel toe, you could also give yourself a little bit of room between your heel and your toe. Or if these are really hard, just make them smaller than your regular base of support. If this is your walk, normally just take smaller steps and your feet are closer together to challenge yourself a little bit. So I'm just going to walk forward, keeping my eye on the camera to make sure I don't disappear. And I think I can do one more step. And I'm going to go backwards now. You know, there's a lot of mirrors in here, so I can actually see myself going backwards. All right, so now we're going to do that a high knee. All right, I'm going to stop here and then I'm going to go backwards. Make sure you have a place to hold on if you need to. These extra mirrors are helping me out a little bit because I can see myself in front. And now the next thing we're going to do, I talked about, I don't have a better word, maybe a little stutter step. Like when sometimes I've seen it with family and people in the gym, getting up and wobbling. That's why we're doing the fast sit and the fast sit and, or the fast get up and sit, or to get up and go. Sometimes when someone gets up, that initial getting up, if their balance is off, is difficult. It's also apparent sometimes if when you're walking and you have to stop suddenly. So what we're going to do, that there's a wobble, and we're going to try and work that out. So we're going to do a tandem stance for just a couple of steps, and we're going to stop. And then we're going to take another step or two and stop. And I can feel that wobble a little bit. You know, when you move and you have some momentum, and when you stop, you know, I feel a little shaky. So we're going to work through that and stop. And sometimes it depends on which foot is in front. I'm going to try and get my right foot in front. That's a little bit better. I'm not going to do this backwards. I'm going to go back and do that one more time. So stop. I'm going to try get my right leg in front. Yes, it's definitely better when I have my right leg in front. My left leg in front, rather, excuse me. Sometimes I don't know my left from the right. And all right, we're going to work on that over the next few weeks. I'm going to just check in with you guys and see how you're doing. Everyone's doing okay? Yes. So I've been doing a bunch of different ways to do our core work, and I like this one. Normally, when I do this in the gym, we're actually moving. I'm going to do this, we're going to be stationary. So this, I want you to pretend, I'm just going to do it here. When you're in a plank position, if you're all the way on the floor, your body is in a nice, from the head to the heel, you know, your nice straight line, your belly button's pulled in, you're using your glutes are contract. So what we're doing is going to be a standing plank. This is called a farmer's carry, and you're going to hold on to your weight. What this will do is also help with grip strength. And we're going to be in that perfect plank, perfect posture position. We're going to do this for 30 seconds. We're just going to march. Try to get your knee up to hip height, nice and slow. Next to a wall, in case you wobble, you can just wobble into the wall, and make sure you're breathing. I'm not going to count. I may talk to you while we do this, but we're going to start now. Keeping your belly button pulled in towards your spine. We're trying not to move all over. We're just marching nice and slow. Holding on tightly to your weights, building strength in your grip. The heavier the weights are, the harder it is. People keep texting me. I don't know if you can hear this. And I think that's about 30 seconds. And let's do that one more time. I think it's a great exercise. There's a second part, which we won't do today, where you only hold one where you hold the weight in one hand. It's called a suitcase carry, and then you switch to the other side. And even though you're weighted on one side, you still have to maintain your balance. So let's do that one more time. And now, get your knee up to about hip height. Nice and tall, belly button pulled in. Your shoulders are back. You're not leaning forward. Great practice to carry groceries. We have about 5 more seconds left. And this wears you out a little bit. It definitely, and my heart rate is not very high, but 30 seconds holding weights and marching is a long time. So let's do wood chopper. Feet staggered. I'm going to start over, and your feet should be wide, give you a nice balance. Belly button pulled in. This is a rotation exercise. You're going to start over your shoulder, and you're going to bring it down to the other hip. We're going to do 10 of those. So 1, your head follows the ball, keeping your belly button pulled in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And switch to the other leg. Start over the other shoulder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And let's sit down. So we haven't done a roll back, roll forward in a while, so we're going to do that today. You could put your ball, toilet paper, sofa cushion behind you, sit it up nice and tall, and you're just going to roll back. You're keeping your belly button pulled in. You're just going to roll back. We're only going to do 10 today. So it's a very subtle movement. Your head moves with your shoulder. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then we're going to roll forward just from the bottom of your shoulder blades. You're just rolling forward. Your head moves with your spine. You're not bending all the way over. It's just very subtle movement from the bottom of your shoulder blades, keeping your belly button pulled in. 1, as you can see, I'm not moving that much forward. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And I'm going to go to the front, and we're going to do, I usually start with this one, but we could switch order. So every time you push in, you're going to bring your belly button in towards your spine. So, excuse me, sitting up nice and tall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And we're going to do tandem stance with moving your head side to side. We're just going to do 5. So I'm going to have the chair here just in case I need to hold on. Good posture, a focal point. Someone is really trying to reach me today, and I'm not going to pick up the phone. I'm teaching my class. So, anyway, tandem stance. A focal point on the left and the right will help your balance. So, nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That wasn't too bad. And now I'm going to switch feet. Switch feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we're going to do, last thing we're going to do is, before we stretch, is a single leg stance. So standing up nice and tall, one leg up. You don't have to do it with the ball today. I'm going to do the ball. I'm just going to push it forward for 10. One fingertip holding on. Good posture, looking forward will help you stand up nice and tall, keeping your belly button in. And we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I didn't make it to 10. Pick my phone, and you can't hear it or see it, but there's been a lot of people trying to reach me in the past half an hour. So standing up nice and tall. Remember, you can do kickstand up and down, which I may have to do. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And now we're going to stretch. So let's sit. So one leg out, your foot is really flexed. So you're sitting towards the end of the chair, so your hamstring is off the chair. So stretching your hamstrings and your calf. Your foot is really flexed, so you get that nice calf stretch. If you could reach your toe, pull it towards your face so you get a deeper calf stretch. We're just taking a few deep breaths with each hold. And switch legs. And stretching our hips, so cross over and pull gently on the outside of your hip, outside of your knee, for a stretch along your hip all the way down to your knee. And switch to a figure 4, pushing gently inside, on the inside of your knee, leaning forward to get a glute stretch, stretching your piriformis and those small glute muscles. And switch to the other side. So switch to a figure 4. And I'm going to do my back stretch sideways. So you can see that I'm not arching my back. My back is still nice and neutral. If you could reach your hands out, that's great. If my hands are going to reach because they're super long. And if they don't reach the floor, that's completely fine also. Just a gentle stretch here. And then move both hands over to one foot, and you'll feel the stretch in the side of your lower back. That's your QL muscle. And if that's tight, it causes discomfort in your lower back and your glutes. And let's stand up. We're gonna do hip flexing. So nice long stance. Your torso is upright. That back leg, you're just gonna tilt that hip forward to get a stretch in the front of your hip down into your quads. And switch over to the other side. Tilt your hip forward. And then let's do a posterior stretch. So hands on the seat of the chair. Your feet are under your hips. And just push your hips back away from your hands to get a nice posterior stretch. This is my stretch if I can't sleep at night. I get up and do the stretch. It sometimes helps me to fall asleep. And roll up, arms out to the side. Bring your arms behind you. Stretch, get a stretch across your chest and the front of your shoulders, and just move your head gently left to right. Shoulder circles and arm circles in the other direction. And thank you guys so much for coming today. Have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you next week. Take care.